welcome to the Laws of Divorce, hosted by attorney Doreen Yaffa, founder of the Yaffa Family Law Office. Welcome to the show, Doreen. How are you tonight?
I'm amazing. How are you?
I am fired up, and I love how you're always teaching our community about the laws of divorce. Your team comes to the Laws of Life networking every Tuesday at 11, and I'm telling everybody out there, come to networking. It's important for you to meet Doreen, to meet her associates. You've always got to have a divorce lawyer in your back pocket and have that number saved in your cell phone, not just if it goes to the divorce stage, but for prenups, postnups, like we've talked about in prior shows. So Doreen, what is the law of divorce for tonight?
So, the law of divorce today is going to be, do you need a lawyer or not? Because
Got
that's
you.
a question a lot of people want to know and a lot of people have real concern about.
So the question, I guess the $1,000,000 question is, do we always need you or a lawyer when we get divorced?
You don't always need a lawyer. If the case is simple, there's no assets, no liabilities to divide, no children, no support, no alimony, then you really can do it yourself. If you want to do it yourself, that's a different story. You may not want to spend the time and effort and just hire a lawyer instead to get it done. That might be your decision, but you certainly could go to the Florida Supreme Court. You could get their forms there for simplified divorce, and you can follow the instructions.
I like it. Now, when is the time, like no questions about it, you really got to consult? What do you think?
Well, so many times, I'm going to work backwards because, again, so many times I have people that come to see me, they already entered into an agreement. They already have a final judgment. And, Blanca, it's a mess. There's no terms. It's vague. It's got lots of issues on it. So, look, you have time and effort into your marriage, right? You've got to make sure that if you're getting out of your marriage, that it's done perfectly, that your agreement has all the terms, it's perspective and thought process, it has specifics, and it's detailed. So if you have assets to be divided, if you have children, if you have support issues, not to mention you want to understand the law, you have to really have to listen. It's not advisable.
What about, and if you don't mind just speaking a little louder, that would be awesome.
Sure, absolutely.
What, oh, good. And also, what about paying for the lawyer? What does that look like?
Well, the payment of the lawyer is all dependent on the complexity of the case, right? And how cooperative the parties are going to be with each other. One of the things I think that our firm does really well is getting our clients into an emotional state where they really think about what they're asking for. They understand what they're entitled to. Now, how much are you going to spend on getting something? So it's like a cost benefit. And don't get caught up in the minutiae. And if you were sitting with me at my office now by Zoom, I would point to the chair next to you and say, how much do you want to spend to get that chair? Or to keep it away from the other side. You got to really think about that. But if your great grandmother sat in that chair every holiday and it has significant meaning to you, then you spend more money on it. So you got to look at that cost benefit analysis in every single divorce. Really, really important.
I love it. I love it. So, how much money? I mean, do you have a range, or it's just basically case by case basis, right?
It's really case by case, but it's not a one size fits all. So it's not like you come in and there's a specific retainer amount. We look at the complexity of the case, the facts, how cooperative the parties are going to be, and then we come up with how much the retainer is going to be. Generally you're looking at somewhere for a contested on some level divorce, anywhere from $3,500 to tens of thousands of dollars.
My father gave me some good advice, and he said, always have a little money, even when you're married, on the side. Just a little emergency account, so that if, God forbid, you do need something like a divorce lawyer, it's good to have that cash on hand. What do you think of that advice?
I think it's excellent advice. I mean, especially in today's world, you want to make sure that you have access to dollars over and above what your spouse might have. So You know, whether you're the person that's handling the finances of your marriage or not, know it. Understand it.
Yeah. What
Dollars,
about
have credit, you know, in your own name. Very, very important.
interest? That's good advice. I like that. And what if the parties are able to cooperate? How does it work then?
Oh, then it's a much simpler process. It's going to require steps. It's going to require understanding the totality of the estate and then advising the client, working on figures, drafting settlements, going to mediation, and then walking it through the process to get it. But much simpler. More cooperative parties.
Is it going to keep the cost down if the parties are cooperating?
100%. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
That's good. That's why I love the concept of the prenup, because I think you can actually resolve issues before they even happen, and it can save you really a lot of money in aggravation and discomfort about arguing about these issues on the back end. God forbid there is a divorce. And what about for those that have very limited resources? Are there ways to keep the cost down?
There are, you know, we're in the process right now we have a new a subdivision of our firm. It's called Your Divorce Law Center. And it is for those who mostly have an uncontested divorce and are willing to get in and really work on divorce with us. And we're going to put together a whole process of what that looks like. So if you're willing to get in there and work with us, you can keep it. So
I love that concept. I love that you're doing that. I'd like to hear you talk about that at networking, because I love your model, which is you can help many people keep the cost of a simple uncontested divorce down, but then you're always there in their corner if it gets litigated. It's literally, you're a very nice balance of how you approach the community with your services. Really like it.
thank you. Thank you.
So what about the people that are in limbo, that aren't sure about divorce?
Right. So that, you know, I just happen to have a workshop coming up on March 17th. It's from confusion to clarity. And it's about understanding the ways to get through the divorce, starting first with your thoughts. You know, a lot of people live in that confusion. I don't want to get divorced, I'm afraid, etc. I'm going to work through that. Then I'm going to go through the different processes, with this set, different options of how to get through the process, and then how to take action. So it's a 1 hour workshop, really well put together with questions for young participants, complimentary, free to anybody who wants to come and do it. And I'm hoping that it'll help people with some clarity.
Sounds like an amazing event, and from what you tell me, it is complimentary, so the entire public is invited. Come and educate yourself. Remember, you may be in a happy marriage. You can still benefit by learning about prenups, postnups, by learning about how to help your friends and family that are going through this. You'll never go wrong by learning more laws. And Doreen, what is the best way for people to book an appointment with you?
So you can either visit my website, yaffafamilylawgroup.com, and actually you can come and join our webinar right there. You can sign up for the workshop. And then you can reach me, 276-3880 here in Palm Beach County.
That's incredible. So Doreen, thank you for being our host on the laws of divorce and constantly educating our community, but also networking every single week and really being a part of the pillars of this town and making sure that everybody knows that you're there as a resource. We truly appreciate you, and everybody think of Doreen Yaffa for your family law needs today.
Thank you.
You're welcome.